Hello, my name is Tia Watson. I am the owner and reading coach of More Than Reading, where we work to repair, restore the foundation of many generations. So what does that mean? It means we work with teens and adults who cannot read, or maybe their reading skills are so weak it blocks them from getting an employment, going to school, to better, position themselves in this world. Now let me give you a little history as to why we do what we do. If you look throughout the United States, big cities, small cities, rural areas, you know that there is a reading problem. The reading illiteracy rate among school-aged children is ever growing. That is why our government, our U.S. government, established the No Child Left Behind policy. And the goal of that policy is to ensure that our American children learn how to read. Well, even though the policy has been instituted, there are certain things that policy cannot do. It cannot go back in time and repair the foundation of learning of those students from past generations who've lost the opportunity to read. So the question is, what happened? What happened to those children who can't read, who they don't know their alphabet, they can't sound out a word, they don't even know how to use a dictionary? What happened to them? Where did they go? Well, I believe the answer is simple. They grew up. They became men and women walking around in our communities, living amongst us. But the difference is they're struggling simply because they cannot read. So that is what More Than Reading, what we, our mission is to help those teens and adults to gain a second chance. Maybe it is their fifth try at learning how to read, but we want to open the door of opportunity so that they will have the opportunity of seizing opportunities that will open the door financially, strengthen their homes, and strengthen their families. Now, there's something I want you to think about. Think about this. When a school reports that 43% of their student body, I'm talking about American children, ages grade 3 through 8, 43% pass the reading proficiency test. We need to think about what else does 43% state. It tells us that 57% of the student body did not pass the reading proficiency test. So let's look at it like this. If you have a room of 100 children, we're stating 57 of them cannot read. That is a problem. And like we mentioned earlier, or like I mentioned earlier, what happens to those children? They grow up. They become teens and adults who cannot read. Now, to compound the problem even greater, those parents who were former children, the generation that was not addressed well enough, they grow up, they have children. These children in that home, they don't have the support they need so that they can read, so they can learn and understand how important education is. So as you see, reading is very important from generation to generation. So now let's imagine what happens over a 5-year period where there are 32% of children who pass the reading proficiency test. And the difference of those children who do not and grow up to be teens and adults, that number increases to 160 men and women. I want you to understand the numbers represent people, humans, men, women, fathers, mothers, grandparents, neighbors, people. We're talking about people and how reading, or the lack thereof, how it impacts their lives. I want you to understand that this 160, we're talking about real people. In this city, I want you to meet 2 residents of Cincinnati. One is a 29-year-old lady, and another is a 72-year-old man who want to take the opportunity to learn to read. Watch and learn from them how important reading is. I would like to introduce you to Ebony. Ebony saw me being interviewed on a show, and it prompted her to call to learn more. So Ebony, Let's talk about you.
I would describe my reading ability that there are some things that I know right offhand, and then other things are difficult for me because of I'm not very confident. And what I can read, I have trouble comprehending it.
So, Ebony, are you stating that when you look at an article, a news magazine, a book, that you just don't know what it's saying to you? That just the first step of identifying the words, that's a huge challenge for you?
It is very difficult at times. Like some things, as I was saying, it comes to me and it's easy, but other things is I would have to go through with the sounding out the word, or just it's very difficult for me. And if I do sound the word out, if it's something that I'm not familiar with, then I don't necessarily understand what that means.
Okay, now that makes sense. That helps our viewers to understand where you are. So, would you tell us, Ebony, how has not knowing how to read, how has it affected your life, your choices, your opportunities? What has life been like for you?
It's been difficult because certain things I know where my level is or what my ability is, so a lot of things I avoid because I don't want to be embarrassed about telling people that this is a problem that I have.
Now, is it true that you were graduated from high school in light of the fact that you never really learned how to read? Is that true? And do you know others who are in your situation?
I did, in fact, graduate from high school, but I was also put in special needs class, so therefore I was in that box. And I do, in fact, know other people that experience what I experienced, and they haven't graduated from high school. You know, they dropped out of school, and I know how my life has been difficult and the things that I've accomplished or haven't accomplished or would like to accomplish. I would like to reach out to those people to see that if I can do it, they definitely can do it.
Now, Ebony, you mentioned the box. What is this box that you speak of?
Well, the box is, as I was saying, I was in a special needs class, and I was tested on certain things, and then they just came to this conclusion, well, you're dyslexic. But the things that went along with being dyslexic really didn't match to my situation, and I just didn't get it. We never, we just scratched the surface. We never really got down to the deep, the layer of what it is. I just didn't get it.
So, Ebony, why try this again? Why try to learn how to read? You stated, if you don't mind me telling the world, you're 29 years old. Why do this? Why is this important for you?
It's important for me because it's a desire, something that I want, for me. I have so many ideas, and I've been on business adventures, and I know that the sky would just be the limit once I got this thing conquered. And I'm very passionate about this. Is something that I want for me. It's an investment in me.
All right, we're going to assume that there are others like you who are watching. They just happen to be handed this DVD. They're viewing this on the television station, and they hear you speaking, they hear me speaking, and they say, oh my goodness, that's me. Now that you have them as an audience, what do you want to say to them to compel them to take the next step?
I would love to instill or to compel in them that just step out. Step out on faith. And, you know, if you never know what you can accomplish if you don't try it. If you don't try it, you can't succeed in it or fail. You're just, you know, stagnant. So I would just try it. If it doesn't work for you, fine. It doesn't work for you. You know, try something else. You'll find something that works for you.
So now you're in the middle of deciding what are you going to do with your life. You know what you would love to do, but you see, Ebony, that reading or not knowing how to read is slowing your whole process, your goal down. What happened that let you know this is a yes now moment?
Well, Tia, I saw you on another show, and you were talking about more than reading. And when I was watching, I immediately was drawn in. I was like, wow, you know, this is me. I got to call and let her know that I need this. This is something that I want. I've always been praying and trying to figure out what can I do to help me. And you just was an answer to my prayers when I saw you, and I knew that I needed to contact you.